Hello there, dear listener. Today I'm thrilled to introduce you to a truly remarkable book that has touched the hearts of millions and sparked deep philosophical discussions about intelligence, humanity, and the consequences of scientific progress. The novel is none other than Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Keyes. Before we delve into the story itself, let's take a moment to appreciate the brilliant mind behind this masterpiece. Daniel Keyes was an American writer best known for his works in science fiction and fantasy. Born in Brooklyn, New York in 1927, Keyes developed a love for literature at a young age. He served in the U.S. Marine Corps during World War II and later attended New York University, where he earned a bachelor's degree in psychology. This background would prove invaluable in crafting Flowers for Algernon, as it allowed him to explore complex themes of intelligence, learning, and emotional growth with remarkable depth and nuance. The story of Flowers for Algernon follows the life of a man named Charlie Gordon who works as a janitor at a bakery in New York City. Charlie has an IQ of 68, making him mentally challenged, but he dreams of becoming smart like the scientists he admires at the Beekman Center for Retarded Children. This all changes when Charlie is chosen as the first human subject for a groundbreaking surgical procedure that has successfully increased the intelligence of a lab mouse named Algernon. The novel is written in an epistolary format consisting mainly of progress reports written by Charlie before and after his surgery. Through these reports, we witness Charlie's transformation from a man with limited cognitive abilities to one who becomes increasingly intelligent and self-aware. As he navigates this new world of knowledge and understanding, Charlie grapples with the moral complexities of his situation, raising questions about the true nature of intelligence and the value of human life. One of the most striking aspects of Flowers for Algernon is its unflinching portrayal of the challenges faced by individuals with intellectual disabilities. Keyes' empathetic approach to character development allows readers to connect deeply with Charlie, making his struggles all the more heart-wrenching. The novel also serves as a cautionary tale about the potential dangers and ethical implications of scientific advancements, particularly those that manipulate or alter human intelligence. As we accompany Charlie on his extraordinary journey, we're reminded of the power of empathy, understanding, and acceptance in fostering meaningful connections with others. Keyes' exploration of these themes encourages readers to reflect on their own perceptions of intelligence, success, and self-worth. Through its thought-provoking narrative and unforgettable characters, Flowers for Algernon stands as a timeless testament to the boundless potential of human connection and growth. In conclusion, dear listener, I hope this brief introduction has piqued your curiosity about Daniel Keyes' masterpiece, Flowers for Algernon. In the following sections, we will explore the novel in greater depth, delving into its intricate themes, memorable characters, and unforgettable storyline. So sit back, relax, and let yourself be swept away by this truly remarkable tale that continues to captivate readers more than half a century after its initial publication. Hello there, and welcome back as we continue our exploration of Daniel Keyes' groundbreaking novel, Flowers for Algernon. In this section, I'd like to delve a little deeper into the plot and introduce you to one of the most unforgettable characters in modern literature, Charlie Gordon. At the heart of Flowers for Algernon is a simple yet powerful narrative about a man named Charlie Gordon who has an IQ of 68 and works as a janitor at a bakery in New York City. Charlie is eager to learn and better himself, which leads him to become the subject of a groundbreaking scientific experiment designed to increase his intelligence. The experiment, conducted by two well-meaning scientists named Dr. Strauss and Professor Nimmer, involves surgically implanting electrodes into Charlie's brain, with the hope that it will boost his cognitive abilities. As you might imagine, this is a risky procedure, and there are no guarantees of success. However, Charlie is undeterred and agrees to undergo the operation, which eventually leads to a dramatic increase in his IQ. Over time, he becomes more intelligent, articulate, and self-aware, transforming from a man who struggles to read and write into a literary and scientific prodigy. Now, at first glance, Charlie's story might seem like a straightforward tale of scientific progress and personal triumph. However, as we journey deeper into the novel, we discover that things are not quite so simple. As Charlie's intelligence grows, he begins to question the motives of Dr. Strauss and Professor Nimmer, who see him as little more than a lab rat, a means to an end. He also grapples with the consequences of his newfound intellect, which alienates him from his friends and family, who can no longer relate to him. What makes Charlie such a compelling character is his vulnerability and humanity, which shine through even as his intelligence increases. Despite his limitations, he remains kind-hearted, curious, and determined to make the most of his life, regardless of the challenges he faces. As we read about his experiences, we can't help but root for him, hoping that he will find a way to navigate the complex world of science, intellect, and human relationships. One of the things that makes Flowers for Algernon such a powerful novel is its exploration of themes like intelligence, identity, and the consequences of scientific progress. Through Charlie's eyes, we see how society values intelligence above all else, often at the expense of other qualities like kindness, empathy, and compassion. We also witness firsthand the ways in which our self-perception can be shaped by external factors, such as the opinions of others or the expectations placed upon us. As Charlie's IQ soars, he becomes increasingly aware of the limitations that society has imposed on him, as well as the assumptions and prejudices that people hold about those with intellectual disabilities. This newfound self-awareness allows him to challenge these stereotypes and assert his own identity, even as he struggles to come to terms with the changes taking place within him. In conclusion, Flowers for Algernon is a truly remarkable novel that explores some of the most profound questions facing humanity today. Through the story of Charlie Gordon, we are invited to consider the true nature of intelligence, the importance of empathy and compassion, and the consequences of our relentless pursuit of scientific progress. So as you continue to listen to this audiobook summary, I encourage you to keep an open mind, engage with the themes and ideas presented in the novel, and above all, enjoy the journey that lies ahead. Now, let's delve deeper into the story of Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Keyes, focusing on its characters and themes. At the heart of this novel is Charlie Gordon, a man with an IQ of 68 who works as a janitor at a bakery. Throughout the story, we witness Charlie's transformation following a surgical procedure that aims to increase his intelligence. As a protagonist, Charlie is both sympathetic and relatable because he embodies the universal desire for self-improvement and acceptance. We cheer him on as he learns to read and write, and our hearts break when he experiences setbacks in his journey towards enlightenment. Another significant character is Alice Kinnean, Charlie's teacher at the Adult Education Center where he takes remedial classes before the surgery. She plays a crucial role in advocating for Charlie's participation in the experimental procedure and remains a constant source of support throughout his journey. Through her relationship with Charlie, we see how empathy and compassion can lead to profound personal growth and transformation. The novel also explores themes such as the consequences of scientific progress and the ethical implications of playing God. The scientists who perform the surgery on Charlie are driven by a desire to push the boundaries of human intelligence and unlock the secrets of the mind. However, their pursuit of knowledge comes at a cost, as they ultimately fail to anticipate the emotional and psychological consequences of their actions. Another theme that runs throughout the novel is the idea of what it means to be human. Through Charlie's transformation, we see how intelligence alone does not define our humanity. Instead, it is our capacity for empathy, love, and connection that truly makes us human. When Charlie becomes more intelligent, he struggles to maintain relationships with those around him, highlighting the importance of emotional intelligence in navigating social interactions. One of the most poignant moments in the novel comes when Charlie realizes that even though he is more intelligent than before, he has lost something essential: his ability to connect with others on a deep and meaningful level. This realization is heart-wrenching because it forces us to confront our own assumptions about what makes life worth living. In conclusion, Flowers for Algernon is a powerful exploration of the human condition that challenges us to think deeply about the consequences of scientific progress and the importance of empathy and compassion. Through its richly drawn characters and thought-provoking themes, this novel invites us to reflect on what it means to be human and the value of human connection. So, as you continue to listen to this audiobook summary, I encourage you to keep these ideas in mind and consider how they resonate with your own experiences and beliefs. The beauty of literature lies in its ability to challenge us, inspire us, and connect us to others through the power of storytelling, and Flowers for Algernon is no exception. Hello there, I'm thrilled to continue our discussion on Daniel Keyes' Flowers for Algernon. In this section, we'll delve into one of the book's most compelling themes, the exploration of intelligence and humanity. At its core, Flowers for Algernon is a poignant exploration of what it means to be intelligent and human. The protagonist, Charlie Gordon, is a man with an IQ of 68 who works as a janitor at a bakery. When he becomes the subject of a groundbreaking surgical procedure designed to increase his intelligence, or given a front-row seat to Charlie's transformation, from a man struggling to read and write to one capable of advanced mathematical equations and complex philosophical thought. But as Charlie's intelligence grows, so too does his self-awareness and emotional depth. He becomes acutely aware of the way people have treated him in the past, and he grapples with feelings of anger, betrayal, and loneliness. This transformation raises important questions about the relationship between intelligence and humanity. Is it possible to be intelligent without also being human? And can one truly be human if they lack intelligence? Keyes' exploration of these themes is further enhanced by his portrayal of Algernon, a laboratory mouse who undergoes the same procedure as Charlie. As Algernon's intelligence increases, he becomes more agitated and erratic, eventually succumbing to madness before dying prematurely. This tragic turn of events underscores Keyes' argument that intelligence is not the sole determinant of humanity. Rather, it is one aspect of a complex web of emotions, experiences, and social connections that make us who we are. Throughout the novel, Charlie's interactions with others also serve to highlight the ways in which intelligence and humanity intersect. For example, his relationship with his former teacher, Miss Kinnean, is marked by mutual respect and affection, even as Charlie becomes more intelligent than she is. Similarly, his friendship with Alice, a fellow student at the Adult Education Center where he takes night classes, is characterized by a deep emotional bond that transcends their differences in intelligence. But perhaps the most striking example of this theme comes in Charlie's interactions with his family. Throughout his life, Charlie has been subjected to ridicule and abuse from his mother and sister, who view him as nothing more than an object of pity or scorn. As he becomes more intelligent, however, he begins to see through their cruelty, recognizing that it is rooted in ignorance and fear. In one particularly poignant scene, Charlie confronts his mother about her treatment of him, telling her, "You never wanted me. You were ashamed of me because I was different." This moment serves as a powerful reminder that intelligence is not the only factor that determines our worth as human beings. At its core, humanity is about empathy, compassion, and connection traits that are accessible to all of us, regardless of our intellectual abilities. In conclusion, Flowers for Algernon is a profound exploration of the relationship between intelligence and humanity. Through Charlie's journey, Keyes challenges us to reconsider what it means to be human, reminding us that intelligence is just one aspect of a complex tapestry of emotions, experiences, and social connections that make us who we are. As we reflect on Charlie's story, let us remember the importance of empathy, compassion, and connection in our own lives, and strive to treat all beings with the dignity and respect they deserve. One of the most striking aspects of Flowers for Algernon is the rich portrayal of its characters. Two individuals who play a significant role in Charlie's journey are Alice Kenyon, his teacher, and Dr. Strauss, one of the scientists involved in his experimental surgery. Their interactions with Charlie reveal much about their own motivations and personalities, as well as shedding light on how they perceive and treat those who are different from themselves. Alice Kenyon is a dedicated and compassionate teacher at the Beekman College Center for Retarded Adults, where she first meets Charlie. Throughout the novel, Alice becomes an essential source of support and guidance for Charlie, helping him navigate his newfound intelligence and the challenges it brings. Her unwavering belief in Charlie's potential and her genuine care for his well-being demonstrate her empathetic nature and commitment to her students. Alice's character is also marked by her self-doubt and vulnerability. She grapples with feelings of inadequacy as a teacher, particularly when it comes to helping Charlie reach his full potential. This internal conflict adds depth to her character and emphasizes the challenges faced by those working in special education. Furthermore, Alice's relationship with Charlie forces her to confront her own biases and assumptions about intelligence and capability. In doing so, she grows as a person, becoming more open-minded and empathetic. Dr. Strauss, on the other hand, is initially portrayed as a cold and detached scientist, focused solely on the success of his experimental surgery to increase intelligence. However, as the story progresses, we see glimpses of a more complex character. Dr. Strauss's interactions with Charlie reveal his own insecurities and fears about the potential consequences of the experiment, particularly when things start to go awry. The relationship between Dr. Strauss, Alice, and Charlie highlights the importance of empathy and compassion in dealing with those who are different from us. Both Alice and Dr. Bencio. Strauss begin with preconceived notions about intelligence and capability, but their experiences with Charlie challenge these assumptions and lead to personal growth. This theme is particularly relevant in today's society, where individuals with intellectual disabilities still face significant stigma and discrimination. Daniel Keyes masterfully explores the complexities of human relationships through the characters of Alice Kenyon and Dr. Strauss. By portraying them as flawed yet empathetic individuals, he underscores the importance of understanding and accepting those who are different from us. As we reflect on Charlie's story, let us remember the lessons learned from Alice and Dr. Strauss that empathy, compassion, and connection can help us bridge the gaps between our diverse experiences and create a more inclusive world for all. Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Keyes is a powerful and thought-provoking novel that continues to resonate with readers long after they've turned the final page. The story of Charlie Gordon, a man with an IQ of 68 who undergoes a surgical procedure to increase his intelligence, explores themes of identity, self-worth, and acceptance that are as relevant today as they were when the book was first published in 1966. One of the most striking aspects of Flowers for Algernon is its portrayal of Charlie's transformation from a man with limited intellectual abilities to a genius. This transformation is not just a change in intelligence, but also a change in how Charlie sees himself and how he is seen by others. As Charlie becomes more intelligent, he begins to question the way he has been treated by society and the people around him. He realizes that he has been the subject of pity and condescension, and that his newfound intelligence gives him the power to challenge these attitudes. This theme of self-discovery and self-worth is particularly relevant in today's world, where individuals with intellectual disabilities are still often marginalized and underestimated. The book reminds us that every person has value and dignity, regardless of their intellectual abilities. It encourages us to see beyond labels and stereotypes and to recognize the unique qualities and potential of each individual. Another powerful theme in Flowers for Algernon is the idea of connection and empathy. Throughout the novel, Charlie's relationships with those around him shift and change as his intelligence grows and diminishes. He forms deep connections with Alice and Dr. Strauss, who treat him with respect and kindness, but struggles to maintain these connections as he becomes more intelligent. At the same time, he also experiences isolation and loneliness as he becomes increasingly separated from those around him. This exploration of connection and empathy is particularly poignant in today's world, where technology and social media can often make it easier to connect with others, but also risk isolating us from meaningful human interaction. The book reminds us of the importance of building genuine connections with those around us, and of treating each person with kindness, respect, and empathy. Finally, Flowers for Algernon is a powerful reminder of the dangers of playing God. Dr. Strauss's experiment on Charlie is ultimately revealed to be flawed, with devastating consequences for Charlie's mental and emotional well-being. The book reminds us that while science and technology can offer incredible benefits, they must be used responsibly and ethically. In conclusion, Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Keyes is a timeless novel that continues to resonate with readers today. Its exploration of identity, self-worth, connection, empathy, and the dangers of playing God are as relevant now as they were when the book was first published. As we reflect on Charlie's story, let us remember the lessons learned from Alice and Dr. Strauss, that empathy, compassion, and connection can help us bridge the gaps between our diverse experiences and create a more inclusive world for all. F's Flowers for Algernon, a groundbreaking novel by Daniel Keyes, has had a profound impact on popular culture and literature since its publication in 1966. The story of Charlie Gordon, a man with an IQ of 68 who undergoes a surgical procedure to increase his intelligence, resonates with readers due to its exploration of themes such as intellect, self-discovery, isolation, and empathy. Keyes' novel has inspired numerous adaptations in various media formats, including films, plays, and television series. The most notable adaptation is the 1968 film Charlie, starring Cliff Robertson, who won an Academy Award for Best Actor for his portrayal of Charlie Gordon. This movie brought the story to a wider audience, further solidifying its place in popular culture. The book has also influenced contemporary literature, particularly in the realm of speculative fiction and science fiction. Many authors have been inspired by Keyes' exploration of human intelligence and consciousness, leading to the creation of thought-provoking works that delve into similar themes. For instance, Kazuo Ishiguro's Never Let Me Go shares some thematic connections with Flowers for Algernon, as both stories examine the implications and ethics of scientific advancements on human lives. Moreover, Flowers for Algernon has sparked conversations about the treatment of individuals with intellectual disabilities in society. The novel highlights the struggles faced by Charlie as he grapples with his newfound intelligence and the prejudices he encounters from those around him. This portrayal encourages readers to reflect on their own biases and fosters empathy towards individuals who are differently abled, emphasizing the importance of inclusion and acceptance. The novel's exploration of self-discovery and identity has also made it a staple in educational curricula, often used as a teaching tool in high school and college literature classes. Students engage with Charlie's journey, analyzing his transformation and the consequences that follow. This interaction fosters critical thinking skills and encourages readers to consider the complexities of human nature and intellect. In addition, Flowers for Algernon has left an indelible mark on popular language and phrases. For example, the term Algernon's rise, which refers to a sudden increase in intelligence or ability, is often used in discussions about cognitive development and education policy. This linguistic legacy demonstrates the novel's far-reaching impact on everyday conversations and discourse. In conclusion, Daniel Keyes' Flowers for Algernon has had a lasting influence on popular culture and literature through its adaptations, thematic inspirations, and contributions to discussions surrounding intellectual disabilities, self-discovery, and empathy. As readers continue to engage with Charlie Gordon's story, the novel remains as relevant and thought-provoking today as it was when first published. By exploring the complexities of human intelligence and consciousness, Flowers for Algernon challenges us to broaden our perspectives, confront our biases, and foster a more inclusive society. Flowers for Algernon has maintained its relevance in contemporary discussions about ethics, identity, and human potential due to its thoughtful exploration of these themes. The novel's protagonist, Charlie Gordon, undergoes an experimental surgery that increases his intelligence, allowing him to reflect on the way society treats individuals with intellectual disabilities. As Charlie becomes more intelligent, he gains a deeper understanding of the prejudices and biases he faced before the operation. The novel raises important questions about the ethics of experimenting on human subjects, particularly those who are vulnerable or marginalized. While the prospect of enhancing human intelligence may seem appealing, Keyes highlights the potential consequences of such experiments through Charlie's experiences. As his intelligence increases, Charlie becomes isolated from his friends and family, causing him to question whether the benefits of the surgery outweigh the costs. Moreover, Flowers for Algernon challenges traditional notions of intelligence and identity. The novel suggests that intelligence is only one aspect of a person's character and should not be used to define their worth or value. Charlie's transformation highlights the diversity of human experiences and demonstrates that there is no one-size-fits-all definition of intelligence or success. The novel also invites readers to consider the potential of individuals with intellectual disabilities. By portraying Charlie as a complex and multidimensional character, Keyes challenges stereotypes and promotes a more inclusive view of human potential. The novel suggests that everyone has something valuable to contribute to society, regardless of their intelligence or abilities. In addition to its exploration of ethics and identity, Flowers for Algernon remains relevant because of its timeless themes of love, loss, and self-discovery. Charlie's relationships with the characters around him, particularly his teacher Alice Kinnean and his mouse companion Algernon, add depth and nuance to the story. As Charlie's intelligence increases, he must navigate the complexities of these relationships and confront the emotional consequences of his transformation. Given its continued relevance, Flowers for Algernon is a book that everyone should read. The novel offers a unique perspective on the human experience, challenging readers to broaden their perspectives and confront their biases. By exploring themes of ethics, identity, and human potential, Keyes invites us to consider the ways in which we treat others and ourselves. Moreover, Flowers for Algernon is a beautifully written and deeply moving story that will stay with readers long after they have turned the final page. The novel's poignant exploration of love, loss, and self-discovery is both timeless and universal, speaking to the human condition in a way that few books can. In short, Flowers for Algernon is a book that challenges us to think deeply about the world around us while also touching our hearts and minds. Its continued resonance in contemporary discussions about ethics, identity, and human potential makes it a must-read for anyone seeking to understand the complexities of the human experience. So pick up a copy today and discover why this book has captivated readers for generations.